I think sports are cool. You probably think sports are cool. So let's celebrate the NFL Super Wildcard Weekend starting this weekend. The first matchup of the weekend, we have the Texans and the Browns. The Texans are playing at home. CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year, one of the best quarterbacks that we've seen since Patrick Mahomes was in his first season. And then you've got the old gunslinger himself, Joe Flacco. Now, this game honestly could go either way. The Browns defense is fantastic. The Texans defense it's okay from what I've watched this year. CJ Stroud is just an X-factor player, and I think the Texans are going to pull out this dub this weekend in their home stadium, his first playoff victory of his career. I think that Joe Flacco is going to throw one too many interceptions, and that's all she wrote. Texans move on to the next round. In our next matchup of the weekend, we have the Dolphins going to visit the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, these are not the Chiefs of old. This isn't a high-flying offense where Tyreek Hill is catching 200 passing yards per game. This is one where the receivers cannot catch anything. They couldn't even catch a cold if they wanted to. It is ridiculous to watch Patrick Mahomes throw the ball where it needs to go, and it just hit their hands and drop to the ground impotently. But the one thing that they do have going for them is their defense. And defense wins championships, unfortunately, for the rest of us. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs defense is better than the Miami Dolphins offense. And I think that the Chiefs defense is going to slow down this injured Dolphins team just enough to eke a win in Arrowhead and move on to the divisional round. Sorry, Tua, you've had a great season. Tyreek, you've had a great season, but it's over. Moving on to our next matchup. The Packers travel to Texas to go play in Jerry World. Now, the Cowboys are undefeated at home this season, and the Packers defense is whack, and they are Swiss cheese. So I think that the Cowboys are going to slice and dice and blow out the Packers and send them back home this weekend and move on to the divisional round. Our next game on the slate is the Rams going into the Lions. Congratulations to the Lions for hosting a playoff game for the first time in like 30 years, literally the first time in my entire life. Y'all swapped quarterbacks. It seems to be working out for both organizations, maybe one more than the other. And that's the one that I'm picking in this game. I think the Rams are going to go in and they're going to start off hot. They've got all their players healthy, and they are going to smack the Lions in the mouth, and they're not going to be able to get back up. I think that this game will be close, but I think that the Rams are going to win by at least a touchdown. Rams move on to the divisional round. Our next matchup, we have the Eagles traveling to go play the Bucks. It is insane to me that the Eagles did not get the 1 or 2 seed. They have been absolute trash going into this postseason, and I think the Bucks are just going to do them a favor, hand them the L, and send their asses right back to Philly. Bucks move on to the divisional round on the strength of their defense and their Pro Bowl snub, safety. And the last matchup, the one that is nearest and dearest to my heart. The Pittsburgh Steelers are traveling to cold Buffalo to play the hottest team in the NFL right now. Now, my heart says Steelers are going to go in, get that run game, win time of possession, have a few opportunistic turnovers because Josh Allen just loves to give up the ball like it's free candy, and they close out the game with a 3-point victory. That's what my heart says. My heart says the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. Mason Rudolph is the man. But if I'm listening to my head, and every time I've watched the Steelers play the Bills always seem to smack us in the mouth. So I have to pick the Bills, even though it tears me apart. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I can't pick against my own team. I understand bias and all this other stuff. I don't give a rip. The Steelers are going to beat the Bills and upset them in Buffalo and go on to play the Ravens next week. Now, if you agree with my predictions, let me know. If you disagree with my predictions, I don't really care, because last year I was on fire. And this year, I plan to be the same. This has been Sports Are Cool.